Was Ali really going to leave, or was she just attention seeking? Big Brother UK episode 9, and Ali wasn't happy. Her and Khaled were having a chat, and she was telling him that she didn't think it was fair that he was making her out to be a villain. But I think that she did that to herself, and he was being really understanding. And then when she says, "Oh, I'm not staying here, I'm going to leave," and he was like, "Oh, don't leave, we've all worked hard to be here." Honestly, I'd be like that. Alright, okay, cool. Bye. One less competition. For somebody who's 38 and who's got like a really professional job, she is acting like a child compared to him. And it's weird for him to be speaking to her, and it's as if he's the adult in the conversation. I just couldn't be bothered with that. Like, I'm really immature for my age. But she's a psychologist. I feel as if she should really know better. And going around the house being like, "Oh, I'm going to leave," I was like, are you? Before it came on tonight, somebody messaged me and says that she'd left the house. And I seen last night on Late and Live that she was threatening to leave, so I was like shocked when they said she'd actually done it. But then tonight she's still in the house, so I was like, not surprised. Lily was devastated that Ali was going to leave. And is it just me, but has she ever been just in like a neutral mood? To me, I feel as if she's either like hyperactive, jumping about, screaming, or she's crying and greeting. Like, anytime there's a challenge or anytime there's going to be a prize, she's like, I should win the prize. I've been through a hard time. It's exhausting. Right, I'm not trying to gang up on Marcello here because I've seen him being nice to people. Obviously, he was trying to comfort Lily. I've seen other people in the house being upset and he's there making them tea, making sure they're alright and everything. He cooks for everybody, he cleans up, right? I'm not saying that he's the devil. But he was talking to Sarah, and whatever the conversation was, he says, "You smell like periods and tea bags." And she was like, "Oh, what you saying?" And he just walked away. And then when she says to him, she's like, "No, you says I smell like periods and tea bags." What a fucking disgusting thing to say to somebody. Like, I'm sorry, I'd have been like, "Oh, I was wondering what the smell was as well. But it's not my period, it's just you. You smell like fucking chlamydia, gonorrhea and syphilis. Dickhead." Ugh, he gives me the absolute bulk. And then when he was in the diary room, he was like, "Oh, I'm really enjoying being here, and I'm liking it in here more than I like it out there." And I'm like, how's he liking it in the house more when he's getting all these supposed hot bitches when he's out there? He's never actually said that, that was my word, I'm sorry, but I can't stand him. Then later on was Sarah was twerking, and I don't know exactly what he said. I think he says, "Oh, I'd jump in" or whatever, and she took it as like a jump in and like go with her. And then she was greeting again. She's always greeting, right? And although I'm glad that she has says to him, like, "I'm not comfortable with you speaking to me like this," and he was like, "I'm just joking," and blah blah blah. But just the period comment, it was just like really disgusting. And then because she was upset, I think it was because she was upset that he mentioned her period, and it's like, it's so disrespectful. And like she says, just because she's upset doesn't mean to say she's on her period. It's like, oh, women are just unstable. Do you know what I mean? You'd get fucking backhanded if I was in that house. Hannah and Dean were sitting talking about the shopping, and he was like, "That we did a good job with the shopping task, but we're going to have like a house meeting." And then they were like, "Oh, that's why we've got Khalid, that's why we've got the head of house." That's not what the head of house is for. The head of house is to make specific decisions, and they've got a new task coming up where it's like some of them are the government and some of them are the workers. And I think Khaled's like the Prime Minister or the president or something. But the head of house in Big Brother isn't to like call house meetings. Although I would 100% be that person. If I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Oh, everything's doing my nut in, like everybody's eating the bread, nobody's sharing the food, we need to call a house meeting," I am the person you come to. I'm happy to take the lead, I'm happy to stand up there, and I'm happy for people to go, "Oh fuck man, she's calling another house meeting. I can't be fucked with this." I'm just that person. Oh my god. Everybody in that house is going to hate me when I'm in there. So Days was also in the diary room, and she was saying, "I've been thinking about this and I don't think I'm cut out for this game." And I'm like, here we go. Here we fucking go, right? There's people out there who have waited their whole life, or dreamed basically their whole life, to get into that house, and then people get in and they want to leave. However, I must say, if I was up for nomination my mind would be in overdrive as well, because I'm not really that bothered about people liking me, right? But the thought of being booed when you walk out the Big Brother house, I think it's overwhelming even for me. And everybody that I know, all my friends, family, like everybody in work, they all know that I want to go on Big Brother. And when we talk about it in work, they'll go, "Oh my God, you need to go into that house, you need to go into that house." And I laugh because I'm like, the only reason you want me in that house is so that I'm not in work anymore and you get rid of me for 6 weeks. And also, I always think to myself, if I went in there, I would probably get chucked out before I get voted out, because you know what I'm like, I just come out with things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could not be dealing with Marcello. Obviously wouldn't be being sleazy to me, thank God. But if I had to witness that, I would have to say something. My mouth speaks and my brain's just like not even in the same room half the time. Emma was speaking to Rosie about Marcello and she was saying, "Oh, I think he really likes her," whatever. And Rosie was saying, "Oh, like, I'm just not sexy, like I know he's pretending or whatever." And Emma's like, "I think he really likes you." I don't know where she's getting that from, because if you really like somebody, you wouldn't speak to them like that. Actually, that reminds me. I was on Facebook tonight and it was the post where she was talking about leaving, and then in the comments people were like, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out, blah blah blah." Maybe there's been a conversation between her and Khaled that we've missed, and that's why she's speaking to him like that. But then somebody in the comments wrote, maybe she fancies him and that's why she's treating him like this. And I thought, I must admit, I did click on the person's picture to try and see what they looked like, and there was a picture of a wee girl, right? And I thought, maybe that's their grandchild, because that is like such an old people's opinion. You know how like when old people go, like if a wee boy pushes a wee girl, they're like, "Oh, he fancies you," which is an absolutely fucking shocking thing to teach kids. It's like, oh, if a boy's being mean to you, or if he's being nasty to you, he likes you. No, it means he's a wee fucking dick and get up and fucking kick him right in the fucking balls. That's what it means. But anyway, that's besides the point. Somebody's saying, "Oh, maybe she fancies him." Well, first of all, she's a lesbian, and second of all, she's a bit old for him. So I don't know. I don't even know where they're getting that from. I was absolutely baffled. So they were told that there was another rule break, and it was Martha and Lily speaking about nominations. Martha was like genuine. She's like, "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it. Like, I was upset. I'm not making excuses." And then they're like, "Lily, do you have anything to say?" And she's like, "No." Just like a fucking Wayne. Would we expect anything else? Let's be honest. And then they get put into jail for like 45 minutes or 40 minutes or something fucking stupid. And Martha was like, "Oh, it's a bit of a joke, like, because they were being punished, right?" But I actually think that the punishments are a joke. Like, if that's all that's going to happen, you fuck it, let's all just speak about nominations. We're going to get put in a cage for 40 minutes, big fucking wow. Khaled and Shegan had a task, and they had to try and guess what the majority of the house were voting out in the garden. And they passed, right? So then they got the hot water and the appliances back on. I was like, big fucking wow. They were going to turn it back on eventually. And by the way, you can wash in cold water. It's not a big deal. But I thought that they should have gave them a Chinese or like pizza or something so they got excited about it. But then when there was the rule break, they got their privileges took back off them. And even Marcello was like, "Oh, you're turning the hot water off, like, big wow, who cares?" Exactly. The punishments are an absolute joke. Imagine though, if they told them this, "Oh, the hot water's back on, these are getting a Chinese," right? But then they were like, "Oh, the Chinese is on its way," and then they had to sat them down and says, "Oh, it's not coming now because he's broke the rules," because they'd be like that, "Oh, I'm starving. Oh, I can't wait for food. Oh, they put it into the storage room. Oh, I can smell it." And then the next thing they're like, "Ah, you're not getting it because you're cunts." Listen, somebody's needing to go on the phone to Big Brother Australia. He'll show them how to do it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of tonight's episode, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!